Hey guys, my name is Andrew and this is my 1988 Suzuki Samurai. Brief history on this. I've had it for about 2 years now. When I first got it, it was really beat up. Had some street tires that were really worn and bald and didn't hold any air. The paint was all coming off everywhere. There's rust holes in it. Just wasn't taken care of. The clutch was shot. So basically, when me and my friend picked it up, we just had to throw it on a trailer and just take it home. I didn't really get to test drive it, but for that reason, I was able to get it for a great deal. So moving on here to the front end. Like I said, cosmetically it was really bad. You can still see where it has these little pockets of rust in the hood, and you can see where I painted the hood myself just with some cheap white Rust-Oleum spray paint. Turned out well. It's been like this for about 2 years. Haven't had any issues with it peeling or anything like that. So everything else cosmetically with it, not perfect at all. This is probably the worst of it right here. Just try to throw a little bit of paint on it, but you know, it's not gonna do much. Luckily I live in the south, so don't really have to worry about anything as far as it rusting anymore. I'll keep an eye on it, of course, but as far as the frame and body mounts and things like that, I'll even show you. It's pretty sound, so there's no frame rest or anything like that. Leaf spring mounts, shock mounts, everything like that is intact. All right, so moving on to the modifications that I did when I first picked it up. So it came with this bumper. The previous owner, he didn't actually build it. He hadn't even had the vehicle for too long, but some other guy had built it. And so it's a very stout steel bumper. So I've just kept it, and it served me well. In fact, my friend has welded on some of these flat toe points on the front. They work out great, as I used to flat toe this to the trail and back, and that worked well, but ended up getting a trailer, and that has served me even better. So now I just use them as recovery points. And moving on up here to the winch. I know it says Badlands here, but this is definitely not a Badlands winch. I just got the fair lead and the hook, but this winch is a hyper tough 5,500 pound synthetic winch, really used for ATVs, but it does really well for this Samurai because, you know, they don't weigh very much at all. So I've actually, one of my first trips out, I broke my rear U-joint, so it pulled me up a hill just fine, just front wheel driving the winch. Moving on here to these lights. These are just some Amazon special amber pods here. They work great. All right, moving along to the side. The previous owner had done this, just the mod where you just chop off the top of that hinge so you can easily pop the doors off. It's really nice to have. Another thing I didn't mention about it cosmetically, the rocker panels were shot when I got this, so just decided to just chop them off and then just welded some steel in here, and it's worked out great. And moving along to the back, not a lot going on here. Just another thing, when I bought this, the previous owner, there was no taillights or anything, just a bunch of wires all over the place. So I decided to use this chase bar and just wired it in to the factory harness, and it works really well. And just have some square tubing as my rear bumper. All right, wheels and tires. So these tires are the Cooper Evolution MTs. They're a 33, 12.5, 15. They work great. Never had any issues with them. In fact, I run them at about 4 PSI on the trails and never had any issues, no punctures or anything like that. Haven't had them for too long, but it's been about a year or so. I have a few wheeling trips on them, not too many miles as I don't drive this thing too often. But yeah, the wheels are actually the original Samurai wheels. They're just flipped the other way, and so you get more offset that way. Moving along to suspension. Look under here. We have the stock Samurai axles with some sort of upgraded steering. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I know it's some sort of upgrade. Suspension wise, leaf springs are the stock leaf springs. It just has a spring over axle conversion on it, and it's got some no-name brand shocks on it, front and rear on this thing. Still stock gears in the diffs. The front diff is welded, and in the back, like I said, stock Samurai leaf springs. Those are clapped out, broken leaves, and yeah, gonna be replacing all this very soon. And the rear has a Detroit locker in the rear. And continue with the drivetrain. The transfer case has a cradle, as well as it has the 6.5-to-1 gears in it, so makes crawling through the rocks really nice. All right, moving on to underneath the hood. Pretty much stock carb still. Haven't had any issues with it, even off-road, steep inclines or anything like that. I've never had it shut off on me or anything like that, so you know, it's not broke, I'm not gonna fix it. So what I used to have in here was the Prius electric power steering, and that worked well for street driving and light off-road use, but when you have a welded front diff, it doesn't seem to work too well. So I did recently upgrade to a hydraulic power steering. So what I ended up using was the electric hydraulic power steering pump off, I forget which model Volvo's, but anyway, Volvo has these pumps, and very simple to run. As you can see, just a couple wires, wire it right in, and then just run it down to the box, which I have down here, and that box is off a 96 Sidekick, and ran it to a cooler. It's behind the grill there, and I've even bought a little like a switch or so I can actually adjust the speed of the pump while I'm driving. So when I get in those rocks and I need a little more steering, I can just turn up the speed of that pump and get a little more input, so it works nicely. All right, moving on to the interior. Not much going on in here. I do have my vice grip modification to the window roll-ups and roll-downs. Yeah. I did recently add this little heated pad. It's nice for the winter wheeling. And other than that, I did add a hand throttle in here, which is really nice for off-roading, just keeping that throttle at a steady pace. I did a little storage bin in the back, and almost forgot, for the interior, here is the switch that I have, right here. This is what allows me to turn the speed of that pump up and down. So I don't run it full go when I'm just putting around, but when I need to on the trails, turn that thing up and works great. All right, and future plans for the Samurai. Right now I'm in the process of gathering all the parts to do a Toyota axle swap. As you can see, here I'm starting to accumulate quite a bit of stuff, as well as I have a set of 84 to 85 Toyota pickup axles in my backyard, as well as I have some 35-inch tires that are going to be going on this as well. Then over here I have some YJ leaf springs that are going to be going on this. So yeah, much more to come on that. I'm going to be hopefully documenting the entire install of that. All right, lastly, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. If you do me a favor, if you could like, share, subscribe, and comment, I'd really appreciate that. That let me know if you guys wanted to see more videos on the Samurai, as well as I do have a first gen Tundra as well. So could be interesting stuff with that. I do plan on doing many more videos just for fun. I just enjoy doing it, and plan on having many more adventures with the Samurai. It's only the beginning. I'm just starting to build it. So yeah,